We're always looking at ways to help each individual student to improve wherever they are. And being able to use Odysseyware, teachers can have personalized lessons for students to use during group time or centers or even whole group activities, depending on what those things are. And it gives us an opportunity to help each student where they are. Everything that we do as far as progress monitoring for intervention is based off of data, and MAP data is the backbone to that. We use some other tools, but MAP is really our #1 go-to data point. When we sit down as a data team, we look at those MAP scores from the fall and from winter and spring, and even the previous year if we have that data in front of us, to see what type of pattern we see with students. And then we also use that data to be able to use Odysseyware to prescribe to the areas of need for those students. So all of our in and out of RTI decision-making process is based off of those MAP scores. I think it's, with No Child Left Behind, every child had to jump up on the same level of box. So now we can jump at different heights, and as long as we're moving students from where they were to a higher point, then I feel like we can show more success. And I think that has helped teachers as far as feeling like they can successfully help a student, because we're going to take them from where they are and move them as far as we can move them in that year's time and get the growth that we can get, rather than saying every kid can learn at that same level. We're seeing that using blended learning in our classrooms is giving our teachers an opportunity to have students work at their own pace at a computer, and it frees them up to be able to spend time one-on-one or in a small group getting to know kids.
We do blended learning almost every day, as long as time allows. And so usually I'll get up in front of the classroom and introduce the standard or the topic that we're talking about for that particular week or day. And then after about 20 or 30 minutes of instruction time, we will break up into groups. And so I've split my kids up somewhat based on ability, so that they can go to different rotation stations and work in different areas. It makes it easier for me to be able to say, oh, hey, you know, this child's having a really hard time with this standard, let me pull some more stuff, or check and see if there are other kids that are struggling with that as well. Because a lot of times it's not just one child, there's usually several. And so it makes it easier for them to not kind of fall through the cracks and me be able to pull other things for them to work on. I search by standard. I look for whatever that standard is that we're working on that week. Usually we have several standards that we work on throughout the week. So I'll pull from, you know, the standards that we're working on that week and just kind of assign it to the kids. And as they get done, then I can assign more, or even possibly go in. I like doing the standards because, you know, I have a couple kids that are really smart and I need to push them. So I need to even pull some 6th grade standards for those children, because they're just excelling above and beyond what they should be at this age.
With ClassPace and with my intervention class, I do the very same thing on paper pencil. Every student has their own notebook, and John may be working on division, long division, and Sally may be over here adding, subtracting fractions. So with ClassPace, same thing. They're doing their own thing. I'm meeting the need of that child and not leaving anyone behind. And if a child is exceeding and doing well, then they're able to move on to something that may be more complex for the other students that they're not able to go on to. And chances are that student that's moving on will be able to, as we say, test out of RTI and not have to have any remediation. So that's the goal, is to take this puzzle, find that missing piece, and put that missing piece into place and let that kid go on and be able to be successful in their math class. So I feel like ClassPace allows us that opportunity to do that.
ClassPace is really helpful because whenever you get something wrong, you can look over it and say, oh, I missed that because, and then you know why. I really like where you can just click on this thing and it blurs out the rest of the screen so you can read it easier. Because sometimes whenever I read something, I accidentally skip over something.
I think ClassPace is good because if you want to do something else, you can just take it down and do something else. And if you want to get off of math, you can save it and you can scroll down to like science or social studies or LA.
Using Odysseyware has helped some of our teachers who might not have been as comfortable with integrating technology. It's kind of given them a springboard to be able to handle going a little further as far as technology is concerned. But also, if you have like a rotation set up in a classroom and you've got students that are working on Odysseyware, that gives more time for that small group interaction with teachers where they can be more prescriptive with those students as far as what they need, and just spend time getting to know them and teaching about more than just what's in the standards, but getting to know the kids and discussing issues and things like that with students.